Hello and welcome to episode number 66 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is, what are your short-term and long-term plans? Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Okay, welcome to today's podcast episode. It's a nice sunny day here. It's Saturday in Melbourne. It's fantastic. The sun's out, and I really wanted to take you through what I do over the weekend, purely on a planning aspect, because Monday to Friday, it's my grind day. It's get stuff done. I stick to the plan, stick to whatever you've planned out, and make sure you implement it through. And so if you've had a look inside the Online Trainers Club and you've looked at my 4-week implementation block, if you haven't got it just yet, just post inside there and I'll make sure you get the link. But basically what I do is I've gone through a lot of time management programs in the past, and one of the things that I learned after reading and doing the 12-week year course, I can't remember his name, but basically you need to account for every hour in the day. And so what I do is I've got a great Google spreadsheet where I map out, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I map out my hourly blocks. I map out exactly what the key outcome is, because remember, we're after the results. If you listen to the previous podcast episode, you know that action doesn't equal results. Okay, it's taking the right action. So every single block, every single hour, there has to be an outcome. What do I want to get done? And if I do get it complete, does it move me closer towards my goals? And I know this sounds really complex and stuff, and trust me, for a long time, I haven't been the time management guy. Okay, it's been one of my weaknesses, but I've had to learn to manage my time better, because over time, I've noticed that if I don't manage my time, I don't keep myself accountable, and I don't track it, nothing ever gets done. I feel like a week or two goes by and I've moved very, very slowly. But having this plan in mind allows me to forecast, allows me to anticipate what's coming ahead, and really allow me to see my vision. Allow me to see what's going to happen in the next month, what's going to happen in the next 2 months, what's going to happen in the next 6 months. And when you can have and anticipate what's going to happen and you can have a vision, you just develop and build this certainty around it, and it allows you to take action. Because I've done it where I've just completely free-winged it and gone about it. And it is one of the most daunting. Like it's a lazy way, because you feel like, I'm not going to sit down and plan for an hour. But in planning, what you have is you give yourself certainty, you give yourself a projection, you give yourself a roadmap to what needs to be done. And so every single day when you wake up and you're not feeling the best, you just need to have a look at what you've put down on your map, and you just can need to tick things off. Okay, because some days, this is what I realized, some days we can wake up and we can feel like we're falling out of an aeroplane and stuff goes wrong and things don't go our way. Not every single day are we going to wake up and feel as though, everything is in place. We're going to feel motivated and inspired, right? There's days that I feel completely crap, yet I rock up and continually write emails, continually do these podcasts, continually do webinars to make sure that I'm consistent, because I know what I need to be doing. And so I wanted to share this with you today, only because through my own experience of not doing it, I've seen a drastic change. And of course it's hard, because to adopt any new pattern, to adopt any new concept that I'm about to share with you, you have to completely change your habits. That's the hardest thing, to go in and say, right, I'm going to implement this. So what I want you to do, and really, if you want to take this on, it's going to help you drastically, is understand what your short-term goals are and what your long-term goals are. Now, a lot of personal trainers, including myself, the short-term goal might be to increase your cash flow, get more clients through the door. And so you can use things like direct response marketing. You can put out an ad to look for more leads, because if you have more leads now, you can make more sales. And this is where I feel a lot of trainers, including myself, I'm going to be the first to raise my hand, and I only say this because I've been through it and I've done it the hard way. The hard way is actually continually trying to fill up this empty bucket of clients. You got a bucket, it's got holes in it, you pour water in it, water falls out. Okay, and so this happens because we are continually focused on the short-term gain. We are focused on the instant gratification of now. We want clients now, we want 30 clients tomorrow or yesterday, right? Friday. And so what happens with this mentality is that you're fulfilling this need and satisfaction of wanting clients now, this demand, but in the long term, it's not really helping you because you're constantly in this state of stress. What I mean by this is a short-term goal, your short-term plan for most clients and most personal trainers, okay? We are looking for new clients. That's the number one question on your mind. How do I get new clients? If I could have new clients, it would solve everything. Yeah, that's really when we look at the psychology of things, including your clients, have a think back to the first thing that they want. And if they felt as though you could solve that, they think their problems would all be solved. That's not true because we know, you and I both know that once we reach our goals, right, once we get into shape, there's always that next thing. And so if we can anticipate that for ourselves, we need to have a look at, okay, what's our short-term goal? What's our long-term? So our short-term goal for most personal trainers, get more clients, make more money right now. And I completely agree with that, which is why we deploy challenges, which is why we deploy video series, which is why we deploy ads to get leads through the door. Okay. Now, I'm assuming that you have a way to convert leads. And the best way is on the phone initially, right? You're going to have to talk to somebody if someone's going to trust you and fork out $500, $1,000, $1,500, $15,000. Okay, I don't know anyone who's sold a $15,000 online fitness package or whatnot. But with that being said, that's probably going to be your first modality. So you, in order to grow, in order to get better, you need to probably start doing it yourself, especially if you're in this and you're a solopreneur, you're a solo fitness owner, okay, that doesn't have a team. And if that's you, that's okay. Because right now, that's our short-term plan. Let's get leads through the door. And for the next month, going to get leads through the door. But the long-term plan is actually what's going to allow you, right? Because right at this very moment in time, if we imagine this, is that you're pushing this boulder up a very big hill. The problem is, right, if you don't have your long-term plan etched in, if you don't have your positioning, your authority completed and kind of you're not thinking about that, what happens is you push this boulder halfway up the hill and then basically it rolls back down again because you're just focused on short term. Okay, and then once again, when you get hungry and you're looking for more clients, you're going to start from scratch. You're going to push it halfway up the hill. It's going to go back down. You're never going to reach that top because as soon as you reach the top, okay, what happens is when you push the boulder, it's just going to roll down, and that's when you get all the momentum. And trust me, that happens. It happens when you implement this long-term strategy, long-term plan. You might be thinking, Lynn, what the hell are you talking about? What is this long-term strategy? And I'm really talking about positioning, authority, trust building, providing so much content out there to your niche audience, okay, on what they should be doing. So you've got your short-term, which is smart, which is strategic, which is cash flow, because you need cash flow to run your business. You don't have cash, you can't do anything. Okay, you don't have a vehicle to get in front of more people, unfortunately. Okay, it's not that you can't do anything, it's just going to take a lot longer the other way. Okay, so if we're going to be smart about this, short-term plan, let's get clients through the door, let's get cash flow through the door. How do you do that? A video series, put out an opportunity ad, put out a challenge, okay? Put out, if you're great on webinar, put out a webinar. I wouldn't expect a lot of personal trainers to be great on webinar, but if that's you and you like presenting to a group and you can do that, focus on what you're best at, okay? And I think this is why I tell people to do challenges, because you don't have to sell, okay? It pretty much sells itself once you deliver that point A to point B, okay? The next thing you need to educate on how you can get your clients from point B to point C is where they'll sign up with you. And the next thing, once you've done that, is that you need to focus on, okay, what are you doing to establish yourself as an expert authority? Are you putting out content, but relevant content that helps your niche? Okay, not generic content. I'm talking about giving them your best stuff, because understanding that they can have all the information in the world, but what they truly need is they truly need implementation. So what you really need to understand is that you need to put out your best content out there that's helped them, or that is going to help them get to their hopes, dreams, and desires. You can start a YouTube channel, you can start a podcast show, you can write a book, okay? But whatever you need to do, and this is why I'm telling you right now that having this short-term and long-term plan in place, okay, requires you to become the expert, requires you to be the best at what you do. You can't be poor. You can't be average. You have to be better. You have to have that certainty that you're going to win and dominate. And so I wanted to put that out forward to you today, because whenever I reach the weekend, and I love the weekend, because then firstly what I do on a Saturday is I go, okay, how did I go throughout the week? Pull out my timetable. I give myself an objective score. A subjective score, right? How did I feel? How did I feel throughout the week? And then I'll give myself an objective score, having a look at, did I get the work that was required to be done? Did I complete that work this week? And if I didn't, great. What's the objective score? Well, I finished 17 out of 34 blocks this week, giving me a 50% strike rate. That's okay. But next week, we aim for better. Okay, so we don't get emotionally detached when you do it this way. Remember, if you don't track your numbers, you can't expect to grow. If you're winning things, tracking your numbers is going to help you grow a lot quicker. And for you, if you want to take this the fast route, if you've been struggling, and for years, I've been the most scrappiest person on the planet. I'll launch, I'll get stuff done, but I'll push that boulder up the hill and it'll come tumbling down. Okay? And within the last 6 to 12 months, having this plan, having this structure in place has allowed me to move forward in spite of all the adversity, in spite of all the stuff, because I've anticipated that things will come up. And so I've made my life easier to keep me so focused on what my goals are. And in this day and age, we need focus if you're going to complete a task, if you're going to move forward. Okay, we have too much information, there's too many distractions out there. And so I really hope that helps, because it's helped me drastically. And your one task for the day is really set yourself up with a planning day. Okay, set yourself up with a planning day where you can have a look at your week, have a look at your outcomes, and be objective. Don't get too emotionally attached. Don't fall down. I started out at, I think, 10%. I would complete 4 blocks out of the 34, and I cried. I didn't cry, but I was like, holy crap, you suck, right? And then I pulled myself out and I said, okay, that's cool. That's a starting. 10% is my starting. If I can get 15% next week, I'm winning, right? Because progress is the key. And if you keep trying to push and become better every single week, what do you think is going to happen? That 10% suddenly becomes 15, 15 becomes 30, 30 becomes 50, right? Right now, I'm at about 55%. I'm looking to get to 70, 80%, because I know that 100%, whilst would be awesome, is very highly unlikely. So if my goals are hitting that 75, 80%, I'd be extremely happy. And so I wanted to share that with you to make sure that you're tracking, seeing the short-term game, seeing the long-term game, that how you can build expertise over the next 3, 6, 12 months, as opposed to looking for more clients and pushing that, boulder up the hill halfway and then letting it come down again. Okay, so I hope you have a fantastic day. And once again, go and find yourself an accountability partner. Go and send this podcast to your friend, to your coach, to your trainer, anybody in the fitness, health, and space that you think can pull you up and you can bounce off each other. That is the most important thing. Okay, I can't place more emphasis on how this is going to help you grow your business drastically. So go and do that, and I'll see you on the next podcast episode. Have a great day. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.